Hey everyone, hope you had a wonderful Independence Day weekend. This is John Turner with Turner Victory Team at Onward Real Estate. I'm bringing you this week's Rutherford County housing market update. This is for the week beginning July 7th, 2025. We have a lot to cover right now because not only do we have the normal week's update, but we have a month-end update as well. So lots going on today. Stick around to the very end. Hopefully you'll know a little bit about what's going on, not only with this week's real estate information, but also with what's been happening over the past several months. Let's jump right into it. Let me minimize this, get us up here. Let's start with our main page that I know are used to us starting with normally. This is this past week. If you look at this, there's a few things that jump out, but let's just take it one at a time. Down here at the bottom, 1,454 available homes on the market right now. We had 147 new listings this week. We pended 105 homes. 98 homes closed this week. And there were 177 that expired or canceled. I will tell you, usually when we get to a big point like this, whether it's a quarter end, a month, halfway through the year or something like that, a lot of times new construction homes that have been listed have rolled off. So that's an unusually high amount, but for if you take into account that a lot of them probably were new construction that they'll be putting right back on the market next week, it's probably not all that high. Also, if you look at our past 3 months or our month supply based upon the past 3 months, 3.02 month supply. Now, what all does that mean and how does that compare? Let's do a little breakdown here. First of all, a few interesting things I see whenever I look at this entire month supply chart right here. Remember, 5 to 7 months is considered a balanced market, neither a seller's nor buyer's market, but a balanced market. Anything less than 5 months is a seller's market. So up until we get into the 800,000s, we are still technically in a seller's market. It may not quite feel like that because sales have actually, they feel like they've slowed down and people are still stuck in 2020, 2021. A lot of sellers are. But by definition, most of our price ranges are in a seller's market still or a balanced market. Something else I want to look at over here is if we look at pendings. Really strange right here. If you look at total closed units over the past 3 months for the 300,000s and the 400,000s, they are almost identical. But this week, there were only 15 homes that went under contract in the 400 to 500,000 price range versus 35 in the 300 to 399. So a little anomaly there. And if you come over here and look at the percentage of available homes versus what went under contract, really low number here for the 400,000s. Again, not exactly sure what's going on with there. It's 1 week, not anything to really get too concerned about, but it is something to at least keep an eye on. The other thing is, if y'all have been watching these for a while, you remember that I railed against the 900,000s for quite a while. At one point, we had over 2 months supply, and this is just a few months ago. But right now, we're at a 6-month supply in the 900,000, so that has evened out quite a bit. And really, whenever you look at, there's only 32 current listings. It's the smallest of all our different price ranges, so it's easily influenced by 1 or 2 or 3 closings, something like that. But it is nice to see that get back in line. I clicked on the wrong thing. I said 6.25 month supply. It's actually 5 month supply over here. I clicked on the wrong line. So definitely back in line there. The blue is 2024. Red is 2025. And for the most part, we have mimicked what we did last year. Nothing really out of line here. It just, again, it seems to be, from a listing standpoint, pretty much like we were last year. On your month supply, again, red's 2024, blue's 2025. You see that we peaked back here back in March, early April, peaked right here at 3.8 month supply. And down here, we were at 2.6 and 2.5 and 2.05 last year. But look how these two lines are starting to come together. The second half of this year may be getting a little bit closer to what the second half of last year was like. But again, so take it for what it's worth. Our pending chart, red 2025, blue 2024. If you remember, we were running slightly behind 2024 up until around April, and then we jumped up a little bit for a month, looked really good, but went back down. But right in here, if you notice, we were trending ahead of last year, and we lost some momentum. 2024, we have actually this week gone ahead of 2024 again. So, we'll see what it holds in the future. But right now, this past week, we pinned at 105 units versus 101 units same week last year. So that's something else to just keep our eye on. Maybe that's a trend where pendings are going to take off a little bit more. We're getting a little bit more certainty with some of the things going on with the economy, and markets do not like uncertainty. So hopefully if we're getting a little bit more certainty, that's going to help us. Our available inventory chart, this goes all the way back to 2023, and you can see down here, we were in the 700s, and we have steadily risen since. But one interesting thing, this week we have 1,454 available units. Last week we had 1,505, so that's a significant drop. I do think that has something to do with some of these new construction listings falling off and will probably come back on. So I would anticipate us being higher next month, or next week, but who knows for certain. So presented number of homes versus number that pended. And for a while here, around the end of last year and the first of this year, we were running close to the same year over year. And then we got a really wide spread here. But if you notice, this is coming back a little bit closer to what we were last year. The red line being this year, the blue line being last year. And again, this kind of goes with what we're seeing with some of the pendings and some of the month supply. And so it does look like we're getting close to about where we were this time last year. We do know that in August and September, we saw some mortgage rates decrease last year, and that really helped spike us for the second half, especially the fourth quarter of last year. So we'll see what happens on that front. Look at our, let's go up here and look monthly closings chart. June, we finished out with 477 closings for the month of June. If you go to 2024, we had 408. So we were up almost 70 closed units this year over last year. It is less than we had in May, but definitely was up from last year. And if we'll look at the June stats from this past month too, if you look at this right here, the average sales price per square foot in Rutherford County for June of 2025 was $229 a square foot. Our average sales price, $507,734. The average sales price to list price, 98.83%. Now, I will tell you that reflects strictly list price to sales price. It does not reflect any concessions that might have been given by the seller as far as paying some closing costs, the buyer broker fee, anything like that. And the average days on the market for those homes that have sold is 30 days on the market. That's what we look like in June. Now, 2021, 2021, 1930, 2022, 2023, 1,600. 2024, 1,400, 2025. So we were up about 63 units, if my math is correct there. So we did see an increase in sales. And here's another chart that shows that. It shows the 1,486 versus the 1,423 there. We were down in the first quarter of this year, 1,038 to 1,154. If this trend continues, we may see for the third quarter, maybe 1,600 homes sell in the third quarter, but that certainly remains to be seen. One other thing I want to share with you on a national level, here's a heat index from Zillow. And if you read this right here, it says a higher score indicates a hotter market. So where the sellers have more power, a lower score is where buyers have more power. And if you look at all this red up here in the Northeast and out west, and a little bit here in the middle part of the country, most of that, the sellers have a pretty good handle on things. It's really a seller's market at that point, especially if you look up here along the coast in New York. Man, they're at 79 right there. In Nashville, the Nashville MSA, back in 2018, we were at 61, 2020, 63, but look at 2021, went up to 93% or 93. So that means, extreme seller's market. And you can see how we've declined. And right now we're at a 48. So that, again, that goes to kind of what we're seeing as a balance. I bring this to you every week. We've tried to start updating it where we got the charts because I know some of us are more visual learners. But feel free to comment with any questions. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would help us out a lot. Plus, it would alert you as to when these are coming out. But we're here to help you, not only to look at the stats, but myself and the Turner Victory team, we like to use these stats to really help guide our buyers and our sellers through the market. And we can help you here in Rutherford County, Tennessee, or in any other parts of the mid-state area. We're definitely experts in the Rutherford, Wilson, Davidson, Cannon, Coffee, Williamson, you name it, especially the southern half of Middle Tennessee. We can help you, and we'd love to do that. Please reach out with any questions you have, and I look forward to bringing this to you again next week. And as always, I appreciate you watching,